Hello, I'm Rich Taylor, a sales engineer with Squirrel Compliancy Solutions. In this video, we're going to look at assets, adding an asset, bulk asset upload, and credential sets. In the left-hand menu, we'll navigate to Assets. On this page, we have the inventory of assets contained within Defender. We can currently see that we have 25 assets in our platform. We also have additional information for assets that are brought in as far as the name, IP, the manufacturer, OS, the date of the last sync, if it's covered by a license in the Defender platform, who added the device, and then you have actions you can perform against a target device. Additionally, you can expand a target asset to see the findings that have been brought up against this device for any audit. We have the Cat 1s, which are critical, Cat 2s, which are major, Cat 3s, which are minor. Then we also have the warning and informational findings for these devices. This provides a history, and we can see on this particular device that it looks like remediation was run, and we did remediate some of those open findings. We'll collapse this by clicking the triangle. Now, as far as the actions you can perform against the device, on the right-hand side, if you scroll to the right, we have the key icon, which we can validate credentials. This is a virtual lab environment and device, so we don't have SNMP set up on this particular device, but we have set up SSH credentials. We can also perform a test against this device. So we're going to just test the connection, make sure those SSH credentials are working. We'll launch a new window, we'll reach out to the device, and we got a green check mark, so we know that we are connected to that device. We'll click X to close this window, and X to close this one. There are also actions you can perform in the drop-down at the top. Typically, you could perform a sync operation. Maybe the device is inactive and you just want to sync multiple devices or a single one. You can click the checkbox and select the sync information action. This will schedule a background job. So in the top right of the screen, we'll click the background jobs. We can see that the sync information for one device is in progress. And once that completes, it will update the asset information. Additionally, maybe you've run a remediation job, but you didn't commit the configurations. You can select this device and then do a commit configurations. This will perform a write memory operation against Cisco iOS devices to go ahead and commit those changes. Now we're going to add an asset to Defender. Like you would with adding a rule, a policy, an audit, or even an asset, you perform those actions in the top right section of the screen. We're going to go ahead and add an asset. We'll input an IP address for our target device. And then we'll click Next. We don't have SNMP set up, so we're going to bypass this step and click Next. We'll give you a warning that certain information may not be brought in, and we'll just say OK. Because we didn't have SNMP set up, we're going to manually select the platform as Cisco iOS, and then we'll click Next. Here, you can either manually key in a username, password, and enable password, or we can use credential sets. We're going to use the SSH Squirrel credential set. Yes, we want to apply this credential set. And it pre-populates those fields with values that are stored in the credential set section of the screen of the platform. We'll review that in a later part of the video. Now we can also test the connection to make sure that the connection works for this particular device. You can see that the window pops up and it's attempting to connect to the device, and we get a positive response. We'll go ahead and close this and click Save. We can see that our new asset has been populated. That was the IP address, and it's currently shown as not reachable. Even though we validated the credentials, Defender has to perform a sync operation to bring in the data for this particular device. Now we'll go ahead and refresh the screen. We're still working here. All right. So we input an IP address, but it recognized the host name and the domain associated with this device. So that was the information that was brought in once it did establish a connection to that target device. Now we're going to go ahead and remove a device that we brought in. Now the device cannot be associated with any device group or any audit before you can delete it from the platform. So we're going to check this box. We're going to go ahead and we're going to delete the asset. Yes, we're sure we want to remove the selected asset. And we are back down to 25 assets, so that asset has been removed. Now we're going to bulk import assets. In the top right, we click the bulk upload button. This launches a new window. We have the capability to import Cisco Prime Infrastructure export from the legacy product, or we have the SDP Squirrel Defender platform upload form. We have a sample document, which you just click download this, save it to a local location, and it'll download. Launching the document, we can see that we have sample data to import into the form. There are several fields, and if you have credential sets configured in the system, you can just dump those into the Excel document, save it, and upload. I have a pre-configured form following that format that we will actually upload. And all I'm inputting is the IP address of our target asset, the platform type, and then the credential set name that we have for the SSH credentials. That's all you need to upload assets into Defender. Simple copy and paste exercise. Within this window, I'll click the plus sign to go ahead and select my test document, which has the 25 assets, and then I'll just click upload. So this will start a background job, and we'll refresh this page. Okay, we can see that we now have 50 assets, but several are still not reachable. Defender's in the process of bringing in those assets, applying the credential set, and reaching out to perform a connection test to pull in any relevant data. We'll see these fields slowly populate as we refresh. All right, we can see that several already disappeared. We have a couple lingering ones that are still syncing. Even fewer. And we are fully active with all 50 of our assets. So now we're going to add a new credential set. Maybe you have that requirement to rotate that password every 30, 60, or 90 days. And to ease the process, we've added credential sets within Defender. Under Admin in the left-hand menu, click to expand, and then navigate to Credential Sets. In the top right, we'll click Add Credential Set, which will launch the wizard. And we'll select that we're going to do SSH. We have SNMP and API options available as well. And this is the SSH update. Optionally put in description. Click Next. This will default to SSH, port 22, and we have our new username. And we'll put in a new password and your enable password. Leave the timeout connection set to 30 seconds. And then optionally, you can test this connection against target devices. If it's already been rolled out to certain devices, you could select them and test the credential set. We're going to click back for now, and then we're going to click save. So we now have the SSH update credential set. Now we want to go ahead and apply it to some devices. So we've already added these credentials to the new device. We just need to update it in our environment. So we're going to select these two devices because those are the ones that we need to update. And we're going to, from the actions drop down, select update credential set. Simply select the new credential set. and click Save. This credential set will be applied to 2 devices. You want to continue, Apply. So now that that device has been associated with the new credential set, it's been updated, and we met our requirement for updating and rotating that password per IA18.